Welcome to Landria Anka on YouTube, here to help you break through fears and live a beautiful, awesome life. So we're coming up on 4th of July as of this video, which is, well, our Independence Day, the United States Day when they declared independence from Great Britain. Now, Great Britain happens to be our friends, and I'm so thankful for that. But back in that era, it was a very, very difficult time for America, and we were truly the underdogs. But I just saw something on the History Channel, and they spoke about George Washington and Valley Forge. That was a battle that we literally had no chance of winning. Of course, everything's possible, right? But even George Washington wrote in his journal that one of three things was going to happen. They were going to starve to death or get, of course, all killed, or they were going to have to surrender, quit. There was no other options for him because they had no supplies, no food. Most of them didn't even have shoes, and it was the dead of winter. They had bloody, infected feet. And they were up against the most powerful army in the world. And George Washington went into the woods and he prayed. He prayed. And a vision came to him. A vision came of a light being who showed him a probability. The United States that would exist 100 years from that moment, revealed to George Washington what would be and inspired him. So he went back to his troops, and of course they conquered the British. How did they do it? Probably divine intervention and the spirit to be successful, the spirit to do it. They were inspired. They didn't quit. So that is an amazing story. And there are so many like that, where at the worst possible point, when you think everything is lost and you're in your darkest hour, a light will shine in if you ask for it. If you reach out and ask for it, that light will shine through and show you a different way. So, whether you call it meditation or prayer or just opening yourself up to the collective consciousness, the higher self, whether you're speaking to God or the source or whatever else you believe the ultimate power of the universe is. When you get down on your knees at that dark hour and you say, I'm ready, I am going to release everything, because whatever you're doing at that moment isn't working. There's another way. And it comes from in here. George Washington didn't have supplies flown in by a helicopter that day. Nothing changed, except for their will to defeat the British. And that came from within. So no matter what dark hour you could possibly be in, and sometimes the dark hour isn't what's going on out here, it's going on in here, feeling lost, feeling like you don't have purpose, feeling alone and sad, and just you don't even know why you're here anymore. You don't know what to do anymore. You can't even imagine being happy anymore. That's when you can be at your most powerful, because that's when the ego quits, hopefully. For people like Eckhart Tolle, he gave up because what he was thinking and doing in his head, it wasn't working. It was trying to control everything. And it was not creating joy, it was creating chaos. And that's what's going on when you go into that dark hour. There's chaos. And then when you realize that you are connected to the highest power. It is you, it flows through you, and all you have to do is access it. When you release your control over everything, I'm not making the decisions anymore. It's up to you. And you open yourself to that divine power of which you are. You are now accessing that pure potentiality. The probability that isn't the one you're in will appear. Because you have now given up. See, we grab so much, so tightly on this reality and, oh, I'm going to change it, I'm going to do this, and that's not how you change it. It's by releasing it. It's by trying not to change it. It's by accepting and saying, okay, I'm ready for something else. Show me. I'm going to act on it. I'm going to do whatever the universe sends, because I keep trying to make things happen, and that doesn't work. So if maybe I release that and keep, not control, not micromanage what's going on, maybe the universe is just going to send me everything I really need. And I'm going to have to roll with that, which means you might have to roll with some things that, you might question a little bit. But guess what? What you're doing isn't working. So, like Washington, who went in the woods to pray in that horrible, horrible situation in the dead of winter, one of those coldest winters at Valley Forge, got an answer and guidance, and so can you. And you keep asking until you get it. You're going to keep asking, and something's going to happen. You're going to feel divine power. You might get an answer. Maybe you hear something in your head. Maybe there's some guidance, something you need to do. Maybe it's just something telling you you're going to be okay that keeps you going. Maybe somebody calls you, or you run into somebody who offers you a job, or that you fall in love with, or whatever it is you need that hasn't been working. So, can you release things? Can you release your control? Can you open up to the universe? Can you go down and maybe say their prayer and say, I'm ready. I am so ready. Yeah, of course you can. Those darkest hours are some of the biggest blessings. Despite how painful they are, they could be the biggest turning point in your life. Don't discount them. Say, hallelujah, I can't go any deeper than this. I can't go down any further. Whew. No place to go but up. All right, I'm ready. And you put your hand out and you get ready to grab on, because you're going to get pulled up. And just know that. And be ready for something awesome. Sending you abundance, light, love, joy, peace, health, wealth, prosperity, peace. Namaste.